Okay guys, we should be live. Let me know if you can hear me okay. And I'll do a few hellos to people in the chat. So, hello Tegan. Shade Hunter, hey ho to you. DempseyJ Gaming, you spelt character wrong. Yeah, I know I did on the thumbnail. You just pointed that out to me and I noticed I spotted it wrong. I'll correct it later. It's fine. Robotic Artist 27, howdy. Now, I did do a poll earlier on, before the stream, and it looks like... Oh, Red Knight. Welcome, Red Knight. Good to see you here. I did a poll on the stream, and it looks like Koopalings won. So, we will be doing one or multiple Koopalings in an illustration. I will apologise, in the poll I put Koombalings, because I just think Koombas are fun, but that's more the old live action movie, and sort of like they were called Koombas in that. But it makes no difference anyway. So we'll be doing something with one of them, and that kind of answers Robotic Artist's question of what are we drawing tonight. Venomized Toothless has a suggestion for a future one. How about Shy Guy's Star Wars Bounty Hunter? Oh, that would be quite interesting. But the question is, if you look at it, will the Shy Guy start chasing you guys? Any kind of picture or anyone looking at a picture of it, it comes after you. So it could be quite interesting. Mario's Transformers could be another future one. Yes. It's not going to be tonight's one, but that's a possible one for the future. I need to do some Transformer stuff. So Mario's quite the rage at the moment. You've got the HBO trailer, and if you guys have seen it, is absolutely amazing. It's got the characters from, I think it's The Last of Us, but oh, it's one of the best trailers that I've gone. It's a spin-off, like, spoof trailer. It's not a real series starting, but I wish they would make it a series. And then we've got a Mario movie coming out soon, which is good. And also, if you do like Mario, after the stream, be sure to check out Koifish Gaming's channel, because last night, Koifish Gaming and SS Davin did a Super Mario 3 Retro Game Genie, where they went through all the worlds, actually, from World 1 to the end of World 8. That was absolutely incredible, so be sure to check that out. It is a long stream, it's about 4.5 hours long, so clear bit of a schedule. But if you want to watch some retro gaming on Super Mario Bros. 3, that is perfect for you. And that's me plugging it out to a good channel supporter and keeping it Mario related. Anyway, Red Knight says I have a good Mario voice. Robotic Artist says Bowser Jr. For them. So let's have a look. Let's get a list of all the Koopalings for this one so I can see who's who. Talk of the devil. Hey, hi, SS Davin. How's it going? Venomized Toothless, I need help artists assemble. What do you need help with while we start looking at this? So basically what I'm doing now is I'm just looking at a list of all the characters for the Koopalings to potentially do one. So we've got quite a few of them, but I don't see which one's Bowser Jr. We've got Wendy, Roy, Lemmy, Iggy, Morton Jr., Larry, and Ludwig Von. Hey Minecraft Transformers, welcome to the stream. Venomized Toothless says, I need ideas for an insane pose, like the Joker or Dr. Facilia. What are you actually drawing? What's the character going to be or something, so we can figure out the pose for it? Like, what do you want to get from it? I guess the question is, which one or ones are we doing? Because we'll potentially take all of these characters and do something really wacky with them.
Fuse them together.
I'm not doing a complete fusion of them, but the Bowser kids definitely are going to be on this. So Let's open some reference images up. So I've got some good images of them. I mean, I could do a group of them together in an illustration. Be honest, if I do one character, we've got more chance of getting further in the illustration. If I do multiple characters, I can talk a bit about composition and we can map some stuff out and do multiple ones and build this up over several streams. It depends what you guys would like to see. Would you like to see a kind of a building up an illustration over several streams? Or do you want to see like a actual character and we develop that character, so it's one character, maybe a few small plushy type things for the character or something, kind of like with the Bowser illustration or the Venomized Bowser one that we did. It's like a lanky figure similar to Cinnamon, but an insane mindset, like probably one that's crazy, like hands would be coming around the side of the head like you got with some of the Joker ones, with a big like a smile on it, with its head tilted and its body towards, a bit like I am now, just like a creepy look coming down on the face with the lighting coming up from underneath. Would give it quite a scary feel to it, but at the same time probably have that pose. One character. Now that's cool, we can do one character. So the question is, which of them should we do? Because we've got a few of them. Right, so which one do we want to do? We've got a few. Yo, Stella. Alright, so we're going to be doing one of the Koopalings. So the ones that we've got are Wendy, Larry, Morton Jr., Iggy, Lemmy, Roy, or Ludwig von. That's pretty cool, Minecraft. I'm glad that one won the poll as well. That's quite a cool one. What about Iggy as a Star Wars bounty hunter? I'm not sure what we're going to do with the character yet. Need to figure out which one. Bowser Jr. Which one's Bowser Jr.? Is that Morton Jr.? Or is this another one that's not in the list of what I've seen for the Koopalings? Oh, that's a new one. So Bowser Jr. is one that just appears from time to time by the looks of things. That's quite a funky design for Bowser Jr. actually. It's got a bib and all. Possibly. I guess the question is, what do you guys want to see? So it's in Super Smash Bros. Ah, that makes more sense. Because I was looking at Koopalings, and the original Koopalings are just those 7, really. Okay then, guys. If you're in, leave a like on the video if you haven't, or the stream if you haven't already. And Bowser Jr. as a mech armor. I'm not sure about mecha. Well, maybe. I tell you what. We'll do a wheel spin of the of all the names. I'll put them into a list, and we'll pick the character based on the spinner. The one with the bouncy balls. Which one's that one? SS Davin, you've played it. Which one of the Koopalings has a bouncy ball? Alright, so we have... I'll add Bowser Jr. Iggy, Larry, Wendy, Lemmy, Ludwig Von, Morton Jr., Roy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we've got 8. It's not Roy or Wendy. Okay. Ben, what's Ben? I mean, there's more actually. If I was to go for all of them, you've got Bowser Jr., Wendy, Ludwig, Larry, Iggy, Lemmy, Roy, Morton Cooper, Pom Pom. We're adding Pom Pom. We're going to add another one. And Boom Boom. There's 10 of them in total. Well, thanks to you, Red Knight, we got 2 more anyway, so that's quite cool. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin a random wheel selector now to pick the character we're going to do, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with it. So we will potentially make more of these. I want to go through a series of all of the Mario characters, so we will be doing them all at some point. So I'm spinning that now, and the winner is... Boom Boom. But Lemmy's the one with the bouncy balls. Ah. Oh yeah, he's got a picture of one next to him. Okay, well we've got Boom Boom, so let's find a bit of info about Boom Boom, and we'll go with that. We may end up with 2 of them if it's not going to be anything interesting, but let's have a look. Could be quite interesting. Looks kind of like a knuckle duster guy. He's just literally... Let's get all the info on this then. So he's one of Bowser's henchmen and an antagonist in the Mario franchise, along with Mario's most persistent foes, while as an individual, sometimes shown as an entire species, also called Boom Booms. Okay. What's its abilities? That's what I want. I want to know what it can do to make it more interesting. Physical appearance: a large muscular Koopa, features that of a similar to that of Bowser. Personality and trait abilities: has unique abilities from different type of Koopas, capable of jumping higher, running faster, and turning his arms into wings to fly. Though the wings simply sprout from his head in Mario Maker 3D World. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Yo, Koi. Did you catch which one we're doing? We're going to be doing Boom Boom out the Koopalings. I'm just reading out the abilities to get an idea of what we could do with it. If you've got any suggestions of what we could do, you guys all put ideas in there. We've got one which is turn it into like a bounty hunter from Star Wars, but I want to see if we've got other stuff. I don't want to venomize because we've done that with Bowser, but I want to do something slightly different. Also, can expose to spikes as a Boom is most relied upon forms of attack tend to be involve its large, powerful arms. Okay, so it's basically just a powerhouse with his fists. Boom Boom in a mech suit. Make him a robot. Alright, hang on, we'll sort a poll out for this. Just thinking of 2 more options. We've got to have a few options on this. What else we got? If you're not talking, you're taking a Pokemon quiz. That's fine. If you get stuck on any questions, let us know. We should be able to find it out. Let's put Kaiju in there. And the final one could be...
Pokemon trainer.
I'm not sure about Pokemon trainer. That would be interesting, but I'm trying to think of something slightly different. He's effectively what could be a Yu-Gi-Oh monster on his own design. They're Koopalings. They're like kind of little things. Mech Armor, Kaiju, Star Wars Bounty Hunter. I don't want to do Venomized. Koopalings as Pokemon. Last of Us Zombie. Yeah, let's just put Zombie. That's the most interesting one. We could really have some fun with that. I'll have to look up Last of Us Zombies, but yeah. Do we do Zombie or do we do... a dragon? It's hard to choose for the last one. What haven't we done which would be quite cool? Red Knight says, I'm working on a finishing move for my OC Dr. Virus. It's called Satellite Cannons. Cool. Last of Us Zombie... Sea Serpent. Digimon. I know. Why don't we do something like a My Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia slash supervillain character as the last option. Because he's a bad guy, so make him into a bit of a villain. We could actually make him like a humanoid character with his abilities and a shell. Make him more of a human if we do that one. But I'll ask the community for these and then we'll see what happens. Red Knight, if you go with My Academia, are you okay with that? Red Knight, it's whichever one wins out the poll from people, so I've got no say in it. I suggest the options, you guys come up with it, and we do the picture for it. And then we'll add it to the list of what we've got, because we've got... I may as well type that in. Boom Boom Koopa. We've got a Bowser. Slot for Mario and Luigi. It's ahead at the moment to make it into like a character or some form of My Hero Academia superhero, which we could have a look at, because it'd be quite cool to put some of those features on an actual anime character. And then I'll do another poll for the gender. But it could change. I mean, there's 7 votes. Mech Armor, Bounty Hunter, a supervillain character. Oh, while we're here then, I'll do a congratulations to Koi Fish Gaming for hitting 4,000 subscribers yesterday. Well earned. So congratulations for that. It's looking like we've had 7 votes and we've got how many watching? Probably about 12 or 11. So we'll give it one more minute and then we will move on to the next bit, which is the actual drawing. So let's just warm up a little bit with some ideas. The hero killer, what's his name? Slade. Yeah, Slade was quite an interesting one. My Hero Academia's Digimon could be an interesting series, actually. I think we're going to be turning this guy into a supervillain character. Stain. Yes, Stain's the hero killer because he's got no nose on his design. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be turning him into a supervillain type character, so we can have fun with this. He's got enhanced strength. Yeah, no, we're going to be turning him into a supervillain. Should be quite interesting. So for this one, then, we need to. So he's a faithful servant, a powerhouse with a short temper. Usually points out he's easily defeated. Usually, although his profiles usually point out he's easily defeated by taking 3 stomps to the head. He can give orders to the Cooper troop with browser, like to capture. Okay, abilities are he can also sprout wings, which would be quite interesting. So his arms could turn into wings. So maybe we can have something with the wings in mind on this one for a pose. So that could be quite an interesting one. So let's get a decent picture of our character. He's literally just a little guy with a hard shell. So we've got a lot of freedom here. Okay then, we are going to do a supervillain version of him. So the next poll that I need to ask, actually, should we keep him male or should we do a gender swap as well? Just to throw some out there, do we want a female? Well, actually no, maybe we should keep him male. We'll keep him male and turn him into a My Hero Academia character. So for this one then, I'm going to start with a pose and work on a composition. So I'm going to do a couple quick sketches for possible poses. He is quite muscular, so he's going to have quite a big build-in effect. I'm just trying to think, do we want the wings to come in like... Do you want like he's coming down with the wings? Like he's changed his arms to wings and they're like coming down from up the top, and then we've got his like kind of like lower body and legs dangling down here. His kind of teeth. Or do we want to maybe more of a side angle? I kind of like the idea of having them in the air, so he could be a supernormal. He could be actually. We could take some traits of that and add it in. Sorry, excuse me guys, I did not mean to sneeze. Anyone with headphones, I do apologise. I've probably deafened you all. That sneeze did come out of nowhere, which is a bit of a yeah, didn't expect that to happen. If you're in the chat, be sure to say hi. I'll say hi back if I see it. I'm just trying to think of like possible poses for him. I know he's like built, so obviously he'd have like strong arms that turn into wings. He's got this with a shell on his back type effect, and then he's got his legs will kind of be quite I know he's stocky, but he's kind of like gonna have a vest that looks like the armored shell on him, and then he'll have some legs here. They're kind of floating in the air type thing. Do we give him like bird feet as well when he's got his wings out, or do we just give him like a pair of like boots? Just default back to boots. When in doubt, give him boots. Sounds a bit daft, but that kind of is what happens. I suppose the flying pose is definitely going to be something that we want to do on this. It's just figuring out all the intricacies of the pose. Kind of gives the most flexibility from the arms, really. Yeah, it depends on what version you've got. Sometimes you have wings on his head and his arms, or sometimes he'll have his arms actually become the wings and he loses them. So it's kind of, that's from what I got from the wiki on the character. Well, welcome back, Jericho Gary. I didn't know that you were in here, but welcome back. Yeah, we're going to turn Boom Boom, which is a really... I guess the best way to put it is I will do a quick show of what he looks like. We're going to take this guy. I don't know where you can see. This kind of little Koopaling character here. And we're going to turn him into a villain from My Hero Academia. He does develop wings in some elements, so some people have, you know, got all the reference images up to find one with wings in, and we'll just see what happens. Will be quite interesting. So that's my reference image that I'm going to be using to work on it. Just put the camera back up. So I'm just finding references, a few bits of info, and sorting it. Boom Boom, like BOOM, twice. So Boom Boom is his name. That's not a problem, Tegan. So I'm gonna like take the character and potentially turn him into a type of Nomu type character, but he's quite built, so I will change the upper body to be much larger in size, really, with that coming in sort of like lower and the actual upper body goes out more. I want to kind of keep some of the proportions, if that makes sense, of the character, otherwise it doesn't look or feel quite the same. I think that's, yeah, that's where we had it. It's either that or we do a pose where maybe he's huddled down, one arm's still a wing, and the other, one arm's a wing, the other one's his fist. So we've got the combination of the two, but I don't think that'll look balanced. So the other one is to do a kind of like the characters come down. Landed with maybe an arm that's come down as a wing. It's come down almost like a cape. So it'd almost be like it's a cape, so it's come down like this with the wings. And then on the other side, you actually just got this really big muscular type arm that he's got with the the giant knuckles. And then his kind of costume, which is a bit armoured here for the shell at the back. Do a hawk's pose. I could do. The only thing is the arms wouldn't be... Well, actually... There's quite a few nice poses for that. Yeah, I know which one, Shade, and I turned him into a zombie in one of my videos. I'm just trying to find a pose that would work really well for him. Oh, I like that one. Right, we're ditching all of these. We're going with this. I'm just taking the main arching pose of the character. I will adjust it as I need to, but because the arms turn into wings, I kind of can't have the wings coming out of the back. So I'm going to actually take where the arms are and have them come in for the seems daft, but the effect is going to be on the wings. The body's going to be like that with a leg down here. That leg more out. Super quick sketching as everything that you do on just trying to get the posing down. It looks like he's kind of ballet dancing, but it's not. It's supposed to be more of a... Because he's got an actual arm in here on Hawks, which makes it look quite cool. Maybe the wing should follow that path. But it'd be more kind of in that way. And the other one would be scattered a bit more. Kind of like he's like that. So he's come across here and the other one's going to be upwards. So the other one should be more like that. Going upwards in the air. And you kind of like got the dynamic Yeah, Hawks is the one that you're thinking of, which is fine. I just need to figure out how to get the wings into a position because they are the arms that actually look make some type of sense for the design, as it were. It's going to be flamboyant in the air, like he's like that. He's dabbing in the air by the looks of this, but it's not quite meant to be dabbing. It's meant to be more across the body here, and then the other arm's up back a bit. So maybe I need to actually twist that more that way. So it looks like it's actually twisted up more, the angle. I think maybe we'll start with this and we'll see what happens as we start trying to put details on, because this is going to be interesting. It's kind of like he's going, oh, but you know, we'll see what happens. Once I add a bit more lighting and shading and structure on this, it might make more sense. Alright, so let's start looking at adding some details to this. So we're going to start with the face, and I don't want Hawks' design. I want our Cooper character, because he's got a very distinct eye. So I want to kind of keep the eyes similar with the eyebrows and that, just to have some recognition of the actual character. Best thing is My Hero Academia, they've all got different eyes. Each character's got its own unique eye, which is quite good. Also, feel free to ask any questions as we go along in the chat, art questions or anything. You guys know what the drill is by now. And I don't know if any of you guys have checked it out yet, but do take a minute or two on your spare time, if you can, to check out Patreon. There's updates on what's happening on the channel, things I've got planned. There's behind the scenes. So even though I won't be sharing the artwork for the community redraw on there as a final picture, as the community redraw develops and some of the artwork's done, there are some teaser images going up there ahead of time. So, you know, check it out for some extra content and some behind the scenes stuff, if you can. It also unlocks a whole new area of the Discord if you're on Discord, where you can get the updates or you can ask me questions directly on a few things. And a video suggestion section that's got a bit more preference for Patreons and members once it gets unlocked, because members on the channel on YouTube, once I unlock that, will also get access to that Discord. So it'll give quite a few fun and interesting features for everybody. The key thing about Patreon though is once we do manage to unlock it and we get enough people, I don't have to account for the YouTube algorithm or YouTube pushes out. We can do what we want in the videos and stuff. So we can do more of we can do more fusions or more obscure ones, like anime series that people like. They may not be very popular ones, but we can give them a go a bit more. Trying to think what I can do for this, because he's got like a Oh, I'm going to give him a turtle shell for his helmet. He can look ridiculous. I don't care about him not looking ridiculous on this. But what I did think would be quite fun is to take that whole turtle shell design that they've got for Mario and just give him that helmet. That type of helmet would be quite cool. I might tweak that shell design. I don't... Not 100% on the look of it, but it is his shell design as such. I suppose it's got to be kind of larger to a degree. It's going to be a bit of a helmet. Hello, Furious. Welcome to the stream. What we are doing is we are taking... In fact, can I do that? Give me, guys. You guys, give me a second. I may be able to put a reference picture onto what we're doing on the actual stream of the character we've chosen. Stick a picture below, or yeah, stick a picture below of the character that we're actually doing something with. Just gotta wait for a bit of software to open up for that. So while we're doing that, I will continue with working on the rough sketches for this. I kind of feel those need to be distorted more. Ah, perfect. It's nice when something comes together nicely. It does take a minute because I've got a few things open, but it won't take forever to do what I want to do. Hidden things behind the scenes. That's all good. Right, let's quit that. Close that. Don't close the one that I need. Wrong one, so I want that one. Is he too large for the bit that I'm working on? Is he too tiny? Guys, I've broken something. Haha. Right. That's that. There we go. Here's the guy. this is the one that we're turning into what we're doing. So I've added him to the bottom of there. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Sorry for the slight technical difficulty bit, but it does mean now that we can have a much more interesting design for it, because we can keep some of the extra bits in. I want to lean more to the actual design of the character, so I don't like the proportions on the top of that. It's a bit better. This is going to be the weirdest looking character I've designed on the channel so far, I reckon. So what's everyone up to this evening? Anyone playing Mario? If you're not, be sure to have a little go on it at some point. It is all the rage at the moment. Let's give him a mask on his face to hide some of it. So even though he's more humanoid with a bald head, so to speak, we'll give him a bit of a mask. Yeah, even weirder than that. I mean, that was quite a fun, playful one, but yeah, I'd say this could be interesting. I do want to do a more actual realistic style version of I say realistic style. It's true to the original, so maybe have a load of the characters in illustration, like Bowser at the top with all the Koopalings coming down and some pipes, and then you've got like Mario looking up at him or something, or maybe an angry Mario with his arms crossed and all the Koopalings running away. And Mario could be in one of the costumes, whether it's the cat one or the raccoon one, or maybe the fireball one. There's a whole host of what you could do with it, but the idea is to have a bit of fun and play with that. In fact, I would have done that for tonight's stream, but I wanted to give more of an option for you guys. What we'll be doing on Patreon is there will be one illustration a month, or one every 2 months. That's going to be a poll. Once it's picked, I'll create a video around that illustration, the whole process of doing it, design notes on it, a bit of lore about a character if it's a made-up character or a fusion, and just literally put a lot of effort into one video that'll go out with early access to all the patrons and the members, really. And I say members and patrons, it's not going to take away anything from everyone else. It's just a little extra to give back when we get to that stage. I just got to think about it now, otherwise I'm never going to remember it all. Kind of got a really weird, funky design now. I don't know what I think about this design. I'm having fun, I just don't know what I generally think of the... I don't know, it just seems weird. It's kind of cool, but kind of weird. It's kind of like not looking like his face at the moment, but I kind of put the helmet on him. I think what I need to do is maybe on his skin, I will change the colours so he's got like 2 different toned skin on it underneath the mask. Now I need the wings for the flying turtle. They kind of just look like big hands. Spin it a little bit. I expect the wings are probably going to come from this way and be feathered to a degree. Boom Boom and Pom Pom are awesome. I didn't even know the characters existed, to be honest, those two. I knew about the first 7 because I used to watch the cartoon series, Super Mario Bros. When I was younger. But I haven't followed the games up until, well, up to the points where those were introduced. So it's quite interesting for me to find out that those ones are done, and it'd be quite cool. Boom Boom is the character that's underneath me now, Tegan. So more orangey colours than that. The wing's probably going to be more of a whiter colour, potentially when done, but I'm trying to just get a bit of a sense of that. I will probably go back to a hawk's image for the wings, coming at a kind of like a angle for how they've been done. That's quite a cool way of doing it. Obviously the wings have like many layers to it, so I'm just going to take a couple of the what could be classed as basic wing-like shapes and just, or feathers, individual feather shapes, and just try and fan them out a little bit to be a bit more I do need to sort these wings out a bit more as we go along, though. It will be quite interesting to see how the final version of those wings turn out. And I mean, this guy's got quite a big... He's got some muscle behind. Oh, that's what's missing. That's why this looks weird. A bit weirder than normal. These wings are going to be massive. Like, properly massive on this character. It'll make sense in a minute. The head's going to be roughly the same size. But he's like a muscle-bound guy, isn't he? So I'm going to have to bulk him up. Which is going to make it rather interesting. And then if I go back to him, he's got the... What's he got from the side view going on? Okay, so I can give him like a little collar. Okay, catch you later, Omega Prime. Thank you for joining the stream. If you want to come back at any point and hang out, then please feel free. I know some people, the times are a little bit difficult for them, but thank you for joining us, much you did. Be sure to, if you can, be sure to put a like on the stream. It helps get out there. If we can get to 20 likes, we're on 18. If we get to 20 likes for our first like goal, YouTube should hopefully push this out to more people, which would be absolutely incredible. And then we can have this really random design going out there. Which is actually more interesting, having a random kind of character design going out there for this one. He does have a shell behind him, so even though I've done this, anybody just tuning, joining, wondering what we're doing with a Mario character, we're taking Boom Boom and we're turning it into a potential My Hero Academia villain, or a super villain. So I'm kind of trying to do a dynamic pose to the character, bulking it up a bit for the arms to be massive, and adding the shell on the back, and then just seeing what else happens with it. Making it a bit more humanoid, and then adding the colours to it, so it could be interesting. It's what got voted for by the people on the stream at the start, so it's what we're going to do. It could be one of our best stream random characters going. It could be one of the worst. I've got no idea, but it's going to be fun either way. Now that the disclaimer's out the way, let's see how wacky we can make this. So if I put that behind... Has this shell got little spikes on it? It has, hasn't it? I'm learning so many new things about Mario the few Mario characters on this. It's really random. But some shots don't have spikes on his back, some do. Guys, spikes on the shell on his back or not? Yes or no? Put spikes in the chat if you want spikes. If you don't, just put no. That's the word no. Some of these images of him are really... Oh wow, there's a Minecraft version. No, no spikes on him from Venomous Toothless. Artist discretion. You guys are putting it back on me. That's not fair. No, that's fine. We'll probably go about the spikes then. A lot of the images I see don't have spikes, or if they do, they're very well hidden on a white background. So, oh no, he does have little spikes. Yeah, it's pretty much going to be similar to it, based on what was put, but I'm going to see what I can tweak it a little bit. Maybe it's What If Hawks was... Maybe we should change this to What If Hawks was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and just completely change the stream, but we're not. We're going to finish this off. He does have some little spikes on his actual design. So what I will do is where we've got the shell coming down for a little bit, let's have a little line there. He's only got like the odd tiny spike, so because of that I'm not going to put too many in. I'll just put 3 in for now. That'll be it, just those 3 little spikes in pretty much, and that's it. No worries, Venomous Toothless, thank you for joining the stream, and we'll catch you next time. Completely appreciate anybody who joins the stream, and, you know, staying for as long as you can. Also appreciate everyone's got lives and things to do, and the time for a lot of you guys is completely different to me. So where this is like 10 PM at night in the UK, or now about 11 o'clock at night. Wait, have we been going for almost an hour already? We've been going for an hour? Wow. Didn't seem like an hour. Where it's like pretty much 10 o'clock at night, or 11 o'clock, sorry. It's something like 6 PM in the evening. For some people, it's gone midnight now. You know, so it's quite or it's early hours in the morning, so I do appreciate it. Sorry, yawning. I've been burning the candle at both ends with work and YouTube to get the community redraw done. So, as I said, there are previews. There's a teaser over the weekend for the community redraw, and a shout out to the person whose artwork I've used for the teaser. It was difficult to choose some of them this time. It was really difficult, which is quite interesting. It's also kind of interesting that we've seemed to have more via Discord than email lately, which is a bit of a shame because we used to have a balance at the start, but I think that's people's commitments this time of year. Crazy for a Day says, howdy. Howdy, Crazy for a Day. Just so you know, we're taking Boom Boom from below and turn it into a weird My Hero Academia kind of villain. And hello, Antonine? Antoine? I will apologise, I'm useless at pronouncing anything I read in the correct way of saying it. But hello again and welcome to stream. I recognise you from one of the other ones, the other streams we had, so it's nice to see you returning. Someone name a Pokemon. Lucario. Or Charizard. Or Riolu. I think that's my entire supply of little Pokemon that I've got around here. I just thought it'd be quite funny when you said to name one to show them all. Just double check. No, I think that's all the Pokemon. Unless you count good old Spider-Man as a Pokemon. He can count. Oh, I should have hung him up there or something. Just had him in shot, shouldn't I? I'll do that. I'm going to do a Spider Sonus video or Sonus video at some point. So maybe multiple Sonas for the narrators or something. Alternate versions of them. Kind of wanted him to look a bit elegant, but now I just want some of his feathers to look a bit ruffled and mean. Those won't be quite out so far, but there will be a load that are kind of ruffled coming out this way because of the way the wings go. Yes, Crazy for a Day. I did watch that. I commented on this video. I loved the Shark Phobia lineup. It looked, without any of the colouring that he did on that, basically, just to loop back, Crazy for a Day says, interesting. Oh, bring it back up. Crazy for a Day says, interesting. I remember last stream I was here, I mentioned Pop Cross's new Phobias Demons. Did you end up watching that, Dempsey? Yes, I did, and I enjoyed it. The doll one was weird. My favourite one for the lineup was the shark one because that, I just think that was brilliant. The lineup for that, for the sort of like the thick bold lines and the lightweight lines was just, it looked beautiful, and it's just black and black line art on white background. That looked incredible. So that was definitely my favourite one by far. But no, I did see it and I did enjoy it, and I love the advice at the end because some of them are really good. I have also been asked, do you like drawing Greek mythological creatures? I actually like a lot of mythological lore and cultures. So anything from Greek with the hydras and all that to the Egyptians with the Sphinx and the gods and the hieroglyphs and the whole afterlife to even the Oriental ones with dragons and that. So I do like to. I haven't really drawn any per se recently, but I would like to get back into that on a few more. I say I haven't drawn any per se. I have drawn quite a few dragons on the channel and that, but nothing specifically in a mythological basis. So I might want to do that and add some of the cultural designs and references onto the designs of the creatures. Oh, the story for the doll one, Tegan, was really nice. I'm not sure which one's my favourite story-wise. I've been trying to... It's going to sound daft. I've been studying his stories on earlier videos, and then I've been trying to take a break from paying attention to the lore so much. I've got a few ideas, and I can't remember who suggested it, but I really want to do a crazy idea where maybe one of the narrators has an accident and goes through the multiverse, which would be quite interesting. Hey Zombie Demon, welcome. And you've said, what if you draw different versions of Kratos for every mythology? Possibly. Again, it will depend on where we get to. I do want to do kind of like a... This is one of the things with the Patreon that I kind of plugged a bit earlier. If I can get enough Patreon and members over the time when the channel grows, I can move away from some of the existing series we've done, not bin them, just part them for a small bit, and focus more time on some of these fun ones like mythological creatures and stuff. Although I will be looking to do that with some of the stuff coming up. So I do have something to do with mythology happening on a video in the next couple months, which would be quite good. Nexum into the narratorverse. Possibly. The suggestion I had was next from someone, and I don't know if I'm going to use this yet, was Nexum stumps his toe and travels the multiverse to unstump it. Which I quite liked how daft that sounded. So if I take it, I'll put credit back to whoever it was in the Discord. I can't remember who it was, but it was a brilliant idea. However, I'm quite keen on the fact that it would be really cool to have sorry, I just thought Superman with giant like pants here. It'll be really cool to have I lost my trail of thought then. I don't know who suggested it, but I thought it'd be really cool, sorry, to have a really ridiculous story. So something with the narrators, or even just an offshoot of something that's just so ridiculous it's not what you'd think would happen. I do have a few ideas in the works, but I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet. I want something goofy, and it's like... The best way to put it is, it's like I've jumped into someone else's imagination and nothing's what I expect it to be. And that's what I want to kind of get out of it, somebody else. So it'd be quite an interesting one. But yeah, something like Nexum into the narratorverse is going to be a good one. No then, it's not, but welcome to the stream. Yeah, so now I need to actually get back to doing this character, and I'm thinking... He's got muscular legs and that. I'm going to give him just really, really bulked out muscles on his legs, actually. Just going to bulk his legs out with like muscles and knee and that. He's just going to have like a creature bottom half. Kind of be like a chimera of sorts. Although we kind of covered most of his actual body up, which makes it a bit harder to do a lot of what we're doing. Anyway, people that are just joining, or people that have just left, if you've left, then farewell. Lurkers in the background, leave a like and say hi. Oh, we got 20 likes. Awesome, guys. Now the next like goal is 30. If someone puts a like goal target in the chat, I'll pin the message to the top of this stream. But we want to get 30 now, so we can see if we can get this out to more people on YouTube as we're doing these really funky random poses. 30 likes. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Oh, sorry Ben, I'm going to go with Shade Hunters. That's actually got like goal written in it, which is going to be awesome. So When we get to 30, let me know, and then we can do another one. Put emojis in it for 40 when we get to that. When we get to 30, next one 40, and we'll see if we can build this up throughout the stream to get this out there. Even if we've got a really, really wacky design happening. I kind of think I just want to give him a beast-like set of... Yeah, I'm just going to give him beast feet. I was thinking, what can I do with the feet? And I'll look to do something a bit more interesting in a bit, but again, I might refine some of this as I go along. But I was just thinking I could just bulk this guy up and make him look really ridiculous. I don't know why, I just think a really stupid looking villain is going to be quite funny. What if you draw Mario non-human enemies in animatronic form? Could be quite interesting, that one. Is that a Galfin behind Chipocra's Steam Shot? No, it's not. And I'm not looking behind, because as cool as the line art is, no. No, I've got blue behind me. If it does come out of the blue for the ocean, I'm a goner. Hey, go for Dude 88. Hi to you too. If you hadn't guessed, we are working on a rather interesting, muscular, weird design. Basically, we're taking Boom Boom from below and turning it into this really wacky, really daft villain that could go in My Hero Academia. Oh, I don't have a fear of sharks. I mean, if I was in front of one, I would be petrified, but it's not an actual fear of sharks. That's a fear of survival. That's like a survival instinct. That's anyone's got that. I'm not exactly super scared of them. I think they're quite cool and fascinating, but at the same time, I do not want to meet one or be in its bad side. And I do know, you know, what they say, bop it on the nose really hard. My problem is, I'll punch it on the nose really hard and it won't be hard enough and I'll still get eaten. But, yeah, it's all kind of wacky and interesting for for things like that. Quite like the initial concept of this, actually. I'm not sure if I like it because it's just ridiculous. I kind of feel if I did a green shell, it looked like one of the flying Koombas that kind of like you jump on and it loses the wings from the game, which would be quite cool, but quite interesting. Actually, that's not a bad idea, taking YouTubers. Maybe I should do that. Take YouTubers who inspire me and do something wacky with them. That could be a video. Ben, you've given me an awesome idea. I need to jot that down a second. Maybe I could do Pop Cross as one. Any ideas what we could do with Pop Cross if we put him in there? If you do watch this at some point, Christian, aka Pop Cross, sorry, but it's too good a chance if it's going to be YouTubers that inspire people, because your channel inspired my channel and influenced it quite a fair bit, and your encouragement has inspired me to do more and give more back to the community and work harder on my channel. So thank you. Popcross is a beaver. Popcross is a gopher. Hey Ben, some of the wackiest ideas come out, and if they happen, they're brilliant. If they don't, then it's fine. But you get inspiration at the weirdest moments. Like, I'm in the middle of a live stream on something like Super Mario, and we've just got a new video idea which could be potentially really good. As a beaver with a plaid shirt, yeah, Gopher dude, that's not a bad idea. I know he did a thing with a gopher, which would be quite funny, turning him into some form of gopher character. That's why it'd be funny, you know, just taking something for Popcross is what he's known for and do it. That'd be quite cool. Right, I'm going to start inking this now, and I'm going to start adding more details as we go along. So the eyebrows I'm not going to worry about. They are going to be hugely massive. I'm going to over exaggerate his eyebrows on this. He's got quite evil eyebrows. You like it because it's funny. What did you put? Antonine says, did you do some video about Digimon or Transformers, something like that? I've got Transformers. I've got Transformers being Venomized as part of the Multiverse Story Arc series where I Venomize a lot of other characters. And I've also got, I haven't done Digimon. It is on my list. I haven't decided between Digimon as SCPs or taking Digimon characters and putting them into the D&D universe. And that's taking the monsters, not putting them as existing D&D races, making new races based on existing ones for them. So, Greymon, for example, I may take War Greymon, and it could be based on Barbarians and Dragonborn, but it's a mixture of the two laws together to make a new sub-tribe species, which could be quite interesting. Which I do like the idea of doing something like that with it. Because that could be quite fun, taking existing classes in D&D and then just doing something really wacky with them. That would be quite an interesting one. The problem is I've got all these ideas and I'm still nowhere near getting everything typed up. I mean, I'm still working, full disclosure, I'm still working on the lore for the community redraw for next week. I've done some of the artwork. I've got the lore started. It's tying it in to make it exciting. And there's a little surprise in this one. Not only do I have a surprise for Ehrenfold, I have a surprise for you guys as well. Shade Hunter. I've played one game. I got hooked on it and COVID hit. So I'm into D&D. I did watch Dungeons and Dragons, the cartoon. I know it's not exactly the same, but the principles were it with the Dungeon Master. I did watch that when I was younger, and I quite liked it. And then, yeah, lockdown hit, and I've just got to try and get in contact with a few people again to pick it back up, which is a bit of a shame because that was like, it's been 3 years now. The plus side is, though, my character voices are going to be through the roof and my imagination on it. The downside is I really want to continue it ASAP, but I might have to start new games and campaigns. I have got a book with a load of monsters that I bought, a digital version of it, which goes through a ton of monsters, which is where I got a load of the ideas for the Mech Armors, the D&D Mech Armor series I did. A lot of the monsters from there and the information is taken from the D&D website, where I've actually got the monster manual for this section, which is quite good. Can you turn Digimon into yokai and or DBZ alien species? That could be quite interesting. Dragon Ball Z ones, there's probably enough species to look like them out there, to be honest. But yokai ones could be quite interesting, in all fairness. This is where the fun on the illustration comes in for doing the little added details as we start putting this in that you don't often see when I do the when when I do the normal videos, because although I put them in, usually all you get to see is hands going all over the place, and it can be a bit crazy. Nice, Shade Hunter. I have to look at maybe doing a couple online D&D games and bring back my old profile if I can remember the details, get into it. I was tracking my character stats that I built from scratch. I did a mage character spellcaster, which was really cool. I had invisibility in that, which was really nice. But I even typed up all the notes so I could turn it into a series of artworks. And I did draw one of the scenes from that episode on my channel way back, which is quite cool. Go for Dude says, Dempsey, I think we have decided on Pop as a beaver. Okay, could be interesting. D&D classes as supervillains, yes, that's quite cool. I know Popcross did Pokemon as D&D in the D&D universe, so I was thinking about maybe Digimon, but not quite the same. Well, it's kind of similar, but making them more fleshed out. A Digimon SCP, that would be awesome. And you can call me Tony. Oh, awesome! I'll call you Tony while I remember, because that makes it a lot easier. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Digimon D&D, that would be awesome too. Yeah, they would be quite cool. Generator Rex as an SCP would also be an awesome one to do. It's just a case of getting that to work. Luigi's Mansion Ghosts into new Sonic transformations and or Ben 10 aliens. Oh, you guys have got awesome ideas today. Potentially, I think we could do something with more Mario stuff on the channel since the movie's coming out. As the movie is coming out, it's gonna pick up a fair bit, and I'm kind of wanting to jump on the bandwagon with a couple of Mario elements. I mean, I did that Bowsette artwork that you can see at the sides here, or the one above me now. I turned that into a short, and that's done a lot better than I expected it to do. So maybe some more illustrations along the lines of that style that we've got above, potentially with characters like Princess Daisy and stuff, or Princess Peach, and having some fun and wacky things happen. I don't want to just do it for Mario though. I want to kind of do I'm still going to do all the lore and the stories on the channel, but as we do live streams, I kind of want to bring this style into it a bit more for live streams, and the more realistic painting, like the Bowser Venomized version we did, and have a mixture of them. One, because I think it's quite nice to have the mixture of styles on the channel, so we can distinguish between, okay, that's more of a digital painting, that's this. You can distinguish between the styles for what feel we were going for with it. But I also like the idea of doing the different styles, because I kind of feel over time they're going to merge together quite nicely, and they've started to do it really well. I mean, Cerulean in that digital painting style that I did, or Cerulean, depending how you pronounce it. I think Cerulean. That's hands down one of my best artworks so far, digital painting wise. Personally, for me, in the time span it took 3 hours to do that, and it looked incredible. And part of that was also spending the extra time, like I'm doing now, working on the line art. I don't think a digital painting style will work quite so well for this one. This is going to be more the colour theory work, and then a similar style to the above, just to make it stand out a bit more. Justin, hello to you too. Glad you can join the stream. If you've just joined and you love Mario, you like the artwork that's above, and you like the fact that we're making some weird kind of My Hero Academia character from Boom Boom Below, hit a like. Our target is 30. We are 7 away, I think. We're on 23 at the moment. And it just helps get the stream out to more people. The more people we can get the stream out to, the more the more the YouTube algorithm for recommendations will share the content out on, well, share it out to a wider audience, which is also great. I know we have people lurking in the background from time to time because they're doing stuff, working on a few things and sorting a few things, which is perfectly cool. I want to have a bit more of a twist from the neck there, just to emphasize a bit more the whole muscular nature. 23 is what I'm seeing right now. Awesome. Yeah, I don't mind if people lurk and they don't want to talk. That's not a problem. I just ask that people obviously like the content if they, or like the stream if they're enjoying it. I do have to say, guys, though, we are getting awfully close to hitting our watch time target. We're now under 300. I think we're under 250 hours left to do, which is absolutely amazing. So everybody who's been watching everything at the premieres and that, and cause I know there's a few faces in here regularly, completely and utterly appreciate it every single time. And it's because of you guys, it makes it more enjoyable and more worthwhile to be a content creator. So let's face it, I wouldn't be making content or have a channel where it is today with the community we've got if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much to everybody. And yeah, I've got big things in store for the channel over time. A little preview of the goals. We're going to hit the 4K watch time first. We're going to release a few more shorts out from time to time, just of some of the artwork, some personal projects that you might not see, and some upcoming teasers, just to get you in the mood for like the community redraw, which will be quite fun. And then we're going to start taking the channel a bit more towards what you guys want to do, and steer towards more, every now and again, maybe one video a month done for members only, that they'll be able to see beforehand and everybody gets to see, and then another video a month that'll be voted by everybody in open community poll, and it'll maybe just one illustration based on what you guys want. Faces, he says, I think you mean names. Yes? Possibly, if I've said faces. If it's me, I don't know if I did. I possibly do mean names. I do confuse my words every now and again. I will apologise for that if it was me doing that. I can't remember what part of the sentence I was saying when that happened. So if anybody would like to correct me, remind me, shame me on the internet, go for it. Within reason. I've already been shamed once today for the thumbnail for this video, or this stream. So when I say within reason, I mean be nice to me, people. I don't mind a little bit of like banter and embarrassment online and shaming to a degree, because it's all part of fun, and it makes it entertaining. There's just, as with all things, there's a level. Acceptable. Pushing it, you're just gone somewhere different. But yeah, it is quite cool, and I do enjoy, you know, being a part of the whole fun and excitement that we have. Yes, go for dude. I know it's fun to shame me, but you can't shame me, or I'll kill Loki off. Now you're thinking, no! No, I wouldn't do that. Loki's now become an integral character into the story, without actually being intended to be that integral at this point. No! Yeah, go for dude. You're fine. Loki's got a little ways to go before I even consider anything like that. Loki's managed to get engraved into the story as the main nemesis, which I think is quite cool, because I needed a nemesis for the narrators, in a sense, to help them grow. And I also think that I need to... I tell you what, a question for the guys of you that, or for you guys in the stream. If you had a character, or you were listening to stories about a character like we do on the channel, the narrators, Would you want the character development to be quick, so they kind of learn the lesson, get it quick, and goes along, or would you like to have sometimes, or have it more gradual, so they learn it but they're not quite getting it, so we can have some more fun with the scenarios, or show them kind of still being, what's the best word? Still being a nuisance on the subject that they are. I've got to be careful with the words I use, because now in the chat as well as in speaking, depending what words are used or said, YouTube can demonetize anything. So I'm wording it very carefully, but you guys get the whole idea. Justin likes it gradual. Cool. I think sometimes gradual character development is really nice and it works really well. It's just finding, I suppose it depends on the lessons to be learned and what happens. I mean, if it's something like a serious event has happened, then obviously the lesson to be learned can be learned a lot quicker, which would be quite cool. So if it's like one of the narrators has a severe injury and they've got to save them against because someone's stupidity, then that person's going to be less likely to be that stupid in future because of the consequences. I could go the reverse and make them even more stupid in future and just really have it play off later on, and we're all thinking, oh my god, they're doing it again, who's going to get injured this time? But I also think it does vary depending on the character as well and the type of nature of them. But yeah, I think gradual's quite a good one. Ben goes, yeah, Loki having a spy in Demonica. Have the characters have long character development. Yeah, I think I will go down that route on some of them. The longest character development that's going to be happening, though, I can tell you this now, it's going to be between Nexum and Dinoclaw, or Dino Dinoclaw. They've never seen eye to eye from the start, and I don't know which route I'm going to go down with them, but their characters are going to have the longest development, or the most development out of all of them. Enfold's quite an easy-go-lucky guy. He quite likes, say easy-go-lucky, he's an adventurer. He kind of like lives by the seat of his pants. He's super happy to be out there and just meet someone new, have a bit of trust with them, and get into fights. Nice and simple. Zombie Demon, I am thinking about doing some more stuff like that near Halloween. It's one of those weird ones where the time of year actually has an impact on that. So coming up to Halloween, sort of like September time, I will be going more into ghost stuff. And I think the October spooky redraw, the theme's obviously coming out in September, ready for October. And potentially, depending on how it falls, it could end up being on Halloween I launch the community redraw. Depending on where it falls. I would like to maybe do 3 AM on 31st of October, the witching hour. That could be quite a cool one. We'll see what happens. That could be quite interesting to do. Just to add the whole like scenario of all of these bits and bobs to it. Koifish Gaming has done a little laughing goopy la goop. Tony says, I'm back. Welcome back. Imagine a house haunted by spectral zombies. Oh, that'd be scary. I wish I can play D&D with you one day. That would be awesome. That would be cool at some point. I do want to maybe start something on the Discord or somewhere where maybe one night, no time soon, I've got way too much for me to commit to this properly. Yeah. But I would like to do something like maybe one night in the week. Maybe the mods on Discord or something. We play a game like D&D or something, and we just we jump onto it. But D&D games can take hours, so we need to clear the schedule and do it on a night where it suits. And something else. Alpha Dragon says, hey guys, hey Alpha Dragon, welcome to the stream. Be sure to hit a like if you haven't already. We're going for 30 likes. If we can get 30 likes, then our next goal will be 40, which would be quite good. Yes, go for dude. I do need to do that at some point over the weekend. My main focus at the moment, though, is the community redraw, which I'm behind where I want to be on it, but it shouldn't take too long. As I said earlier, and for those of you joining, the community redraw that's happening, I'm aiming for Monday. I will keep Tuesday in reserve because work has been... There's a big project at my workplace, and it's having to have a lot of time on it. So I'm aiming for a Monday go live. So I'm aiming for a Monday video release on the community redraw. Worst case, it'll have to be Tuesday, but I will let you guys know on Monday when I know what's happening with it. There is 2 surprises happening in this redraw. I'm not telling you exactly what they are, but you know one, because I said it in last stream, Aaronfold bites off more than he can chew. And the second one is another surprise for you guys, which you'll find out when it happens. It's going to be quite an interesting one, actually. And we'll see how it goes. But that does mean I need to discuss something with DempseyJ Gaming over the weekend for what I have in mind. I need someone's input other than my own, you see. So I need somebody who's not... Somebody who's sworn to secrecy.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody sworn to secrecy. In other words, can't tell...
I don't know what I'm agreeing to, guys.
Giving me your input on something over the weekend.
Alright.
But I can't go any more than that because of the fact that it's something to do with the redraw, but it's also, I can't spoil the surprise for everybody because it's going to be quite cool. If it goes well. If it goes horribly wrong, it's all DempseyJ Gaming's idea and
What?
they can take the blame.
No, that's not how it works.
I'm winding them up because it's just one of the fun things to do. No, it should come out really nicely, and a goal for this channel this year is to actually push the story, the development, and the channel content more by the end of the year. Hello, Galahow19. Welcome to the stream. Go for dude. Yes, they are. They're still in the Pokemon world, which is even more interesting because this means that what's happening in the redraw is either happening before that happened or after. But we will find out what's happened to the narrators at some point as well. They are still in it, which is why Nexum left a recording last time, because he's on his errand and he's stuck in the Pokemon world and not there to give the actual training session to the kid. So that's quite an interesting one. Yes, Galahand, I think you were saying that last time. So that is quite cool that they're making a comeback. The Good News Telltale Games. Dempsey, if it goes wrong, you can blame me. Go for dude, don't worry. If it goes wrong, I'll blame Loki. No, it's fine. If it goes wrong, I just didn't plan it out enough, or I just didn't get the idea to hit the mark. And it's one of them things where we try something. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we'll quickly jump onto the next idea and push that one to the side. So basically the theme for the drawing is Bowser and friends torturing the Mario cast. Yeah. That still works for me. Galhound19 asks, and this is a good one, so guys, pay attention to this. Hey DempseyJ, have you given any thought about the July community redraw? It's the 1 year anniversary. Yes. I've got the theme down on the board. You won't be able to see it because it's off screen on purpose. And it's what twist I do with that, or what happens in the redraw with that to add on to that. But July has been picked. So that one's definitely got a redraw theme done. It just hasn't got the final. What line's not connected on here? Is it that one? But it just doesn't have the final twist for a 1 year celebration. However, by that point, I hope to have hit a couple channel milestones, and if I have, I will add that for a little surprise extra. Ben says, Dempsey Gaming, is that a Xenomorph Spider Monkey behind you?
No, it's DempseyJ Illustrations artwork.
Shade Hunter, thank you for joining the stream. If you do jump back on, then we'll catch you then. If not, we'll catch you next time. But I really do appreciate you spending the time you did on stream. Justin goes, if it goes wrong, Dempsey just add, if it goes wrong, Dempsey just added to go for Dude's pizza tab bill. I'll say that again about messing it up. If it goes wrong, Dempsey just added to go for Dude's pizza tab bill. He can't afford that tab bill. He hasn't even paid for all the Discord members yet, and they keep growing. That's the point. If you guys haven't already, and you are able to get Discord and join it, there is a link in the description of almost all the videos and on the channel banner. Feel free to join the Discord. We've got a great community in there, and everybody's really good at giving feedback to people about their artwork when asked, and constructive criticism to develop it and push it further. Actually, are we having a sky background on this? Like a sky background? Is that our plan?
Bowser's Castle.
Galahad19 says, hey, this is a question for you and your viewers. Who is your favourite Batman actor and who's your favourite Joker actor? Right, okay. My favourite Joker voice actor is Mark Hamill. My favourite Joker actor is Heath Ledger. My favourite Batman actor is... I've got two. Pretty much in this order. So Christian Bale is my first favourite Batman actor. My second one is Michael Keaton from the original Batman films, because I grew up on them. And he was amazing at that. I think those are my answers to your question on that one. There have been some really good voice actors for Batman in the animated ones. The problem is I don't know any of their names, so I cannot tell you. Go for Dude says that pizza tab is in the thousands by now. Yes, which means, Go for Dude, you need to take out a mortgage or a loan to pay that off. I'm not advising you to take any money or loan out. I'm completely joking, just in case anybody goes, oh my god, you can't do that. But yeah, you might need to, you know, find some finances. Justin says, Dempsey, is that a necromancer saying return the slab behind you and holding Dempsey Gaming for ransom? No, I wouldn't pay the ransom. It's a necromancer. I'm not being funny. You would just take the necromancer out yourself. They are weak if you get past the army.
Oh, I don't have to go for an army.
That's okay. You'll be right next to them, holding you hostage. Tony says, learning to grow better, the character to be better. Yeah, no, that's definitely right. Oh, Tegan says they are done with the Lucario drawing and they made it shiny. Awesome. Right, so I need to do a background on this actually. So let's drop a... I want a Mario background theme. I'm going to put a block in there. Hang on. Yeah, I've managed to do something I didn't even know I could do on this. Hang on. Go for dude. Yes. DempseyJ Gaming did give me a look when I said I wouldn't pay the ransom. Tony, I'm glad you like Dino Claw. He's I don't know if you've seen that where I've drawn him out in an episode, but his design was done based on a cross between Dr. Grant from Jurassic Park and Indiana Jones, to kind of have the mixture of the two, which is quite cool. And then I kind of wanted him to have some ability, so I kind of made him like a Hulk character with a dinosaur, except for one part is stuck in a dinosaur form, and that's his arm, which is actually quite a cool identifying trait for him. Galhound19 says, "Hey DempseyJ, who do you think should play the role of Doctor Doom, and do you think the supervillain deserves his own film?" Definitely deserves his own film.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill? No, yeah, maybe. After The Witcher, maybe. But I still like the original guy who played Magneto in like X-Men First Class and that, when he played Doom in the Fantastic Four. The original ones with Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. I think he had Doom down to the suave, sophisticated style beforehand, and then the emotion and the anger from Doom when he was actually taken through. I don't really know who else I would pick for it, mainly because it is a case that, the best way to put it, it is a case that the Doctor Doom character has to have that kind of like rich, suave, alluring, handsome, posh boy, charming, prince, royalty personality with that genius arrogance that was nailed in that first set of films. But at the same time, he's also got to have that depth, that drop into madness, which just came through with Magneto in the X-Men films. So I think if you could take the same actor and get him to reprise the role and combine both of those bits he did from the original Doctor Doom and Magneto, you'd probably have an award-winning one that would be as legendary as Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. That's all I can say on that one. That's my personal opinion. People can slate me all the way, but that's what I think. Oh, really, Justin? I didn't realise that. That's quite a cool coincidence. Right, so for this, I'm going to start working on the background a bit, because I like on these ones to do the background a bit first on these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on the sky effect on a new layer. Start trying to add... I want to add some clouds. I know they're not quite realistic in Mario as such. I don't want to... I've got a cloud brush, but I don't want to just add a cloud brush. I want to kind of develop some natural shapes on this. And there's a reason for this in a little bit, but obviously he's going to be in the air from the angle that we've got. I also feel that I need kind of like a really this is where the kind of experience over time's kind of come into what you're doing with the effects and the brushes and that. So a good trick that you've got is if you create a brand new layer and fill it with like the sunlight color, like a really bright pale creamy yellow like I've got here, and you go over your color no matter what the darkness is or the actual elements are, it picks up an overlay of it. So like with the red, and it on overlay it picks it up nicely, so depending on your color you get a pale version down the middle like on all of these. But because it's an overlay layer, if you have a darker color, so say if I go down to this dark color, you just duplicate your layer and you start picking up until you get the right bit to pick the shade out. So now it looks like a nighttime scene and not an actual daytime scene. But in Mario, all the cloud worlds tend to be more of a daytime color. So I'm going to be taking that daytime color here and adding it. The clouds will get blurred in a minute, but I need to do another layer over the top. Pick that light version and go even lighter with it. Actually, I wanted to go more towards the paler end of the spectrum. Tony says, I can keep in your secret, my friend. Now that's cool. Appreciate that. If you're on about where I was on about need someone to keep a secret. The difference is DempseyJ Gaming is my eldest, so I have more influence, slightly. But no, I do appreciate that. And if I've got some for trusted members, like Patreon members, or, you know, the mods, like GopherDude, for example, GopherDude's been aware of a few things on the channel happening before the videos drop and that. And as a true mod and doing their due diligence, as well as just being awesome, they've managed to keep quiet despite how fun it is and how interesting it could be. So yeah, it just varies depending on what's happening. But for this one, this is only something that DempseyJ Gaming can help me with because of the time constraints. So I can't really share anything out for Monday and that. Quite cool. Galileo19 says, how about Vin Diesel starring as Doctor Doom? I would picture Vin Diesel as the version behind the mask for the attitude and that. I don't know if I would picture him as Doctor Doom the rest of the time, if that makes sense. GopherDude. Sorry, slight change of subject. GopherDude. The redraw is aimed for Monday, but it may be Tuesday depending on work commitments. I will put a post out over the week, over this weekend, to state that. Long story short, I have a massive project at work, and it's got a tight deadline, so I'm a bit behind where I want to be on the redraw because I've had to dedicate more time this week into that project. But the redraw will be happening before the 1st of March. It needs to, because I won't be able to see on the 1st of March. So, yeah. Oh, Galahad19 says, what do I have lined up for my next Mech Armor episode? For my next Mech Armor episode, I have lined up something different than what I've currently been doing. So it's going to be a new series, Mech Armor. It's going to be a new Mech Armor introduction. Haven't decided what I'm going to do just yet. In terms of the Yu-Gi-Oh side of things, though, I'll tell you what, can you just take that off and pass me up that big black box a minute? I just want to show, I was not lying when I said I probably got thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. This is just one of about 4 boxes, maybe about 2 boxes worth. And this, it doesn't include the decks. There's about 3 of them. This is kind of just one of my card supplies over the years. So when you asked me which Yu-Gi-Oh monsters I'll be picking or Yu-Gi-Oh things I'll be taking,
All of them.
I have hundreds to choose from. I have references to drawing chains and characters to just some of the most... I know we've dipped off of Mario, but it's just some of the cool ones like the armored dragons. So I will be taking a load of these at random when I do a Yu-Gi-Oh one and putting that in. But I need you to take this back now. Huh. But the beauty of it is going to be... You need both hands for that. Yeah, now you can pick that up.
Not a lot of them,
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh cards have just escaped and became a reality.
no,
No,
54 of them.
only about 54 of them. Thanks. No, but yeah, it's a case of I will be doing Yu-Gi-Oh mech armors at some point, but I also have something else lined up. Dude, is it going to be the kid making mech armors? The kid's going to be learning to make mech armors, but I don't know if the kid's going to be making mech armors just yet.
It hasn't been written.
Well, yeah, it hasn't been
Find
written.
out.
Yeah, find out in next week's episode. No, it's not been written out yet, but it's also a case of I wanted to find a way to do a mech armor episode without Nexon being in the location, and training the kid up was an actual really good idea for that. Which works out quite nicely. That one, and then I want a bit of red. Actually, nearly. Koi, if you're still watching, what do you think of the background so far? Do you get a bit of a Mario feel from it? Until I do something and it goes horribly wrong. Hello, Sarah. All you've missed is the initial sketch and inking of turning this guy below me into this weird wing character that's going to be in like a My Hero Academia, villain. But I want to put a Mario background in it to keep the Mario theme. It's quite cool. Justin says, Kaiba literally just goes everywhere with a briefcase full of cards. Yeah, I've got a dual deck which is just lethal. I'm quite lucky in some regards that my dual deck is as strong as it is over the years. Also, the original Yu-Gi-Oh decks are stronger than you may think. As DempseyJ Gaming found out the other day. I rebuilt, bar about 3 cards, the original Yu-Gi deck, Gen 1. I mean, the first original Gen 1 deck, and all I did was replace the 3 cards with equivalent. So they were as close to the same level with maybe 1 tribute and the same attack going. And I basically annihilated 2 god cards 4 times in the game with the original starting bit. So I was well pleased with that original deck. That's the 50 card deck. That was quite cool, and I'll tell you this now, it was not easy. It was literally, a lot of it was luck. I'll tell you that, literally, it was just pure luck, but it was quite funny to do that. Which is always quite fun to see, but yeah. So these, I've got these, but I've also got to add the, I'll add them in a minute. Whoa, zoomed in. Even with clothes and a glove, it still zooms in when it goes across it sometimes. I might need a new glove, actually. Dempsey is the Nimona of the Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not. I am nowhere near that. I've watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, and Dual Masters on the phone gives you all the latest rules, but it has evolved so much since I've got it. They've got link monsters, pendulum monsters, and that. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time anymore on the more advanced stuff. It's really weird. Also, Dempsey's opinion on Sky High. Do you mean the superhero film where they've got that academy in the sky? Because I quite liked it. It's not. It's weird. I liked it because it was like Zoom with Tim Allen. It was kind of like one of those ones where it's for the family, which is quite good. So I liked that aspect of it, but I don't know. The concept was good, I think. I feel it's just some of the other bits weren't. Some bits of it I didn't like. Other bits I absolutely loved. So probably a bit of both sides in that one, to be honest, in terms of liking it or not liking it. And then I just need to add a nope, don't want a green. I want a Gaussian blur. I just want to Gaussian blur that one out a little bit. So obviously they're in the background, so when I actually make this character a bit larger and stuff, it'll be a bit more different. So this is going to be that element. I will keep that spare just in case I need that. And we'll start looking at colouring this character in on the background with some of the colours. So we want kind of like a, I think that red would probably do it. I also need to work on the, maybe a bit darker. That's better. I will paint these in with a rough painting style over the top to start with. Just to map a few bits out like I normally do when I'm doing one of these lives. I kind of like the whole painting it element and just making a bit of a designed mess around the edges. A lot of elements. I'm back on the TV. I'm famous. Yeah, it was really weird the other week. DempseyJ Gaming on the last stream last week put me on the TV in here, so I was on like the laptop, the TV, something over there, something else, and it's just like, wow, it was surreal seeing myself on the TV. I kind of liked it. I was kind of like, ah. I agree, Galha 19. This one's coming along quite nicely. I do enjoy the kind of feel and vibe that I'm getting from this one. I want it to be... I want it to have that Mario feel, but we're kind of turning it into like a humanoid character that could fit into My Hero Academia. So it could be a villain. I mean, one of the quirks could be to drag them into this Mario world, or it could be an offshooted area. So this could be part of an island within the My Hero Academia universe where it is basically Mario stuff are in the sky. And we've got like the whole Mario feel, and I might get rid of that pipe at the top in a minute, or I might sort it out, and then I'll make the character probably a bit larger afterwards. So it's a bit more a dynamic illustration, which would be quite cool. Go for Dude. Dempsey, what's your least favourite episode that's not an old one? Least favourite episode of what, Go for Dude? Have I missed something? Are you on about my least favourite one that I've done on the channel? Or are you on about episode of something else? Oh, thank you, Tony. I appreciate the fact that you think the drawing's beautiful and awesome. I do like it when it starts coming together past the drawing stage, and I'm trying to blend the styles in a little bit, just enough to do what's needed on this. But at the same time, I'm trying to take into account the... Ooh. I do need that back on there just to fill in that bit. Got to make sure I've got that right, and that's coming down to about there for that there. A Bob Ross energy drink. I mean, I've seen Evan and Caitlin do Bob Ross things where they've done it on like little keyboards, like little keys and that for the keyboard and stuff, which is amazing, following his tutorials. But I haven't actually seen any Bob Ross energy drinks or anything like that. That's quite that's a little bit surreal, actually. This is one of the fun things I love about this style, is I can just build this up over time, bit by bit, for what I want to be where. I also know where roughly the colours are on this, so I will change the mask bit. I don't want it to be the same colour as the shell. So this kind of like bit around the mask, it's going to be a different shade of colour, but I do want to pick out I'm going to start working on one layer for a minute. Yeah, that's the orangey colour. I kind of want to get the main orange colour of the face, because the face is the one colour on this character that's completely different to the rest of the body, which is a bit interesting. In it's like a really defined orange colour, and the rest of the body changes to a different colour. So it's one of those ones I would like to keep, but I also want to shift the colour tone for the eyes down to be... Yeah, let's skip that ad. To work down here. Also, in terms of things coming up on the channel, just think while I remember, I am looking to take the streams that we've got here and just add a few extras to it. So, one of the things I do like a lot about Koi Fish Gaming streams, Koi, I'm putting you on the spot now, is the scene transitions that happen. Like at the start, he's got like this loading bit to load into this scene. So I'm looking to get some stuff done on mine, custom artwork of mine. I'm going to design them, where we might have a be right back 5 minutes with something going on, or playing a trailer or something, which would be quite cool. So I have plans. I have lots of plans for this year for YouTube to take the channel further and to basically help it grow so I can give more back to you guys in the community. That being said, we're at 25 likes. We need 5 more, so if you're lurking in the background and you haven't liked the video, please, please, please hit that like button. I know we shouldn't like. They all say don't beg for likes, don't ask for likes. People don't like it, they click off. But I would say if you're enjoying how it's looking and just the general chilled, you know, chatting and everything in the stream, then it helps us out. It's free. It's not going to hurt. Go for it. If leaving a like is really going to hurt you, we'll send Loki after you. I have to say, I do think that koi fish guy is the guy to help with that. I have to say, you know, they've managed to do an awesome milestone recently, so they've got a bit of time now to help sort a few things for smaller struggling peeps. Oh, I'm just messing, Koi. No, okay, congrats again on that milestone. I don't know if you caught the start of the stream, but I did say congrats on getting 4K yesterday. That was awesome. What have we got? Galau19 says, I have an idea. How about designing FNAF characters as SCPs, like, say, Freddy the Mutant Zombie Bear? Possibly. I do want to do some more SCP stuff soon. Then he says, you can draw small Gumbo with wings flying into the sky in the background. I might do. I would like to do, actually, some of those bullets or those... I need to get one of those weird things that was shooting fire at you and SS Davin yesterday, Koi. Do you know what they were called? Oh, Galahad19. Hey, if the next Mecha Armor episode isn't Yugo, then would it be any chance to be Bio Booster? A Bio Booster Guyver. I would really love to have that as the next episode. The only thing with that is going to be I need to plan that properly because I was heavily influenced with Guyver designs and units. I could draw a Guyver unit or Guyver 1 like that off the top of my head right now if I wanted to, and it would look reasonably like it. It is one of the first things I kind of learnt how to do. You had to use the P-Wing to get up that level where it scrolled up in the sky and doing it, and you had those little grey, they almost looked like those chomper things, but it was floating through the sky and shooting fireballs at you. But if you had the P-Wing at the top, you'd never get hit by it until you went to the pipe. They always change direction at the last second when you go to land on them. Tony says, I love that series Guyver. Yeah, Guyver was amazing. It was one of the first series I kind of got into. I don't like the change in story they did on the newer OVA stuff. So the artwork went up, but the actual story elements, what the bits that were true to the Guyver comic, basically this is how much I like the Guyver. If this is the same one you're on about, Tony, I've got the graphic novel, a couple of the graphic novels, so let's check if it's the one that you're on about. That's the good image. Trying to find a decent image of Guyver 1. Okay, basically these guys. If that's what you know about Tony, that's the kind of Guyver bio boosters. So Guyver, Zoonoid, or Solarlord, this one. It's a really cool concept, but it's getting that done right for mech armors or bio armors. Flame Chomps, awesome, thanks Koi. I should have known it'd be something that simple. But yeah, Flame Chomps would be it's really cool. That's that might be something to just do one in here on something if I can see a decent picture of it. Should be quite cool. That's the official name. Nice. Ah. This is why I like this digital painting style, because I can just block out stuff on a layer and then sort it out later. So I know I want all of this to be the yellow colour basically, and I'll delete the outline later. Anything that's over, and then I want a cream colour, which is similar to the one for the face that I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do the same as the face. I'm going to do it more of a darker colour, which is going to go on these bits, because everybody loves a weird turtle shell design. It's really weird how the colours are so similar, but they work so well together. I mean, I know I've darkened some out a bit more, just to make that, just to differentiate a bit more between what they are. But it's weird how the colour schemes tend to work. I know because they're simple, they've only got a few colours the same. But you kind of would have thought they would have gone a bit more variation of colours in some of the character designs for these. I suppose if it works, don't break it. If it's kind of like something that works, if you don't need to fix it, don't fix. Oops. If you don't need to fix it, don't bother fixing it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke, get someone else to fix it if you can't. We may only get to, I will probably go to about 1 o'clock. So wherever we get to at 1 o'clock, probably the flat's done, and that's where we'll stop this stream. I know it's a bit shorter this time, guys, but as I said earlier, I have been burning the candle at both ends pretty much all week. And I do want to get the redraw sorted. I will say, however, I have on this redraw put a lot more effort into what I'm doing, so there's no twists involved in terms of the artwork. I'm doing a straight redraw of what's happening, but the story and a few of the other elements are going to push things beyond, or the story's the main focus of this to a degree, but also I've tried pushing the artwork for what even though it's a straight redraw in a sense of what the creatures are in my style, I've tried to push the artwork in what I've done for the quality, if that makes sense. I will be doing one with a twist coming up. There will be a twist to one going forwards. I will be tweaking something back to the original style of redraws, but I'll let you know when that one happens and the theme drops. Zara, yes, I will potentially be doing that at some point. I need to think what other characters I can do for the Cuphead fusions. They were quite fun taking the characters and fusing them. So now that we've got those initial 6, I will probably take something like Elder Kettle and is it Pork Grind? I want to call them Pork Chops, but I know it's probably Pork Grind. And some of the other characters and tweak them. Maybe the Root Pack. Maybe the Root Pack and Goopula Goop I should fuse with some Pokemon. That could be quite interesting. I might have to divert to Koi Fish Gaming's expertise on potential Cuphead characters that I haven't done yet for a list of them. Although Callie Maria might be an interesting one. Dr. Cal, I don't know quite yet how I would tweak that one. But it could be interesting. Did you miss a Jigglypuff? That'd be quite an interesting one. I mean, if you've got any suggestions, either on this video afterwards or even on the Cuphead videos, if you go back to find them, just leave a comment of suggestions of ones to go forwards. because I'm more than happy to go back to older videos on the comments, and it's actually easier for me to copy suggestions that people have for the what they'd like to see in a video from those, rather than hunt through the live stream chat. I love seeing them in the live stream chat, don't get me wrong. Be sure to add them in here because I can go back to these chats a bit later on. But if it's added as a comment, as soon as it comes up, I can just copy and paste it out, which is really handy. But yeah, I do plan to do some more Cuphead stuff on the channel, and Pokemon. It's just finding the time to tie that in with all the other stuff. I will also be doing, just to let you guys know, I will be doing something with Venomizing on a community redraw this year. I haven't planned it out yet. It might just be like the original one, like going back to the originals and Venomizing a load of characters. But we shall see. It's definitely on the list, because Venomizing is always one that people seem to like. However, I need to practice something before I go back to a true Venomized episode of something. I keep saying something. And I want to pick up the Multiverse Story arc again. And where we left off was Grimlock was about to be Venomized. Now, because we're turning a oh-so-favourite Grimlock into a Venomized version, and because of my artwork style now, I'm learning how to do a certain type of rendering an element that I need to make the image effectively stand out and pop for the Venomized version. Railroad Raph as a Megazord. Oh yeah, I'll think of some, but I'm not very familiar with Pokemon, so that's fine. Don't worry about the Pokemon. Just let me know the Cuphead characters that you think would be good to fuse with Pokemon. In terms of the Pokemon ones, I will probably be taking some from Scarlet and Violet as a few of my favourite ones, and a few of my favourite ones that we haven't done. So I'm not worried too much about those. It's more about the other ones in that regard. Check I've got all the... So I'm check I've got most of these lines, which I think I have. Oh my god, he looks really wacky, doesn't he? This is why you keep a copy of what you've actually drawn on here, because then you can just easily come in, do that, and then erase the few bits that you need to at the end, which is a nice little technique and trick. Venomizing dragons for the community redraw is actually not a bad idea. I might swap 2 redraws around, add a Venomized one. Yeah, Koi, that's not bad actually. The Angel and Demon one as a... I keep forgetting that they had that as well. Yeah, I think we may end up getting the flats done and then start a bit of the detail tonight. I don't think we'll get much further than that. But I will be picking up streams next week, so potentially I'll be doing more of this on Wednesday, because Monday/Tuesday is going to be the community redraw. If I'm about Wednesday, I will, and I've not burnt out by that point, depending on what I've got to get done. No, actually, Wednesday I will not be doing a live stream. I will not be able to see anything properly enough to do a live stream by Wednesday night. So Wednesday night's out of the question. I'm afraid on a Wednesday, this Wednesday, I will be blind as a bat. No pun intended. I got one of those eye screening things. Oh. They put, basically when you get the eye test, sometimes they put those weird drops in your eyes, and you can't see for hours afterwards. Even though it's in the morning, it just, yeah, I'm not going to be able to see anything for the rest of the day. How about for community redraw, you take 5 hero submissions and merge them into 1 mega hero? I kind of want to do that with 5 robot submissions and make my own Megazord. You guys design some kind of robot scythe or robot or mech creature, and then I make a Megazord out of it. That would be quite a cool one. But you don't build it like it's supposed to be a Megazord. I'm not telling you it's going to be that. I will just, even if it's just you design some creatures, I will then turn them robotic in Megazord or something. I will figure something out where you don't know what's going on with it. Because I just told you it, and you guys remember everything. Which, I don't mind being accountable and stuff, but when I'm trying to, like, figure out what I'm going to do next, you guys are a nightmare. Right. So now, I need to drop my threshold down. No. What music? A blind drawing challenge. Go for it. Do you really want me to do a blind drawing challenge? Because that, as interesting as that may be, I'm not sure that's the best scenario for us to do. It would be quite cool. I completely agree with that. It'd be quite interesting. Not entirely sure it's the best choice for me to even attempt to do. Oh, any of you guys, I know I do these tips from time to time, again and again. Some of you may be fed up of them, hearing them again. But for all these new people, when you're doing whites on something, don't do pure white. Do an off-white. Go slightly to the blue or to the purples or a slight colour off-white. If your eye sees it as pure white, you think there's a missing element. It's not coloured or it's not done on that part. And it doesn't look as good, which can be a bit infuriating at times for when you're doing stuff. In terms of this, I'm working on the basically the flats. I'm adding some depth to it, but I'm not worrying too much about a lot of the details. Most of this is coming from, I want lights and shadows in a basic form on the flats, or to make some gradients to make it a bit more interesting. Most softwares have a form of doing gradients, like a gradient fill. This Procreate doesn't yet. I would love them to add it, but I don't know if they are. You can shade things in and then add a gradient over the actually I could do it. I can do a gradient fill, but I've got to put if I want to do a coloured gradient, I've got to actually put in the dark and light areas, the values first, and then use a gradient map to layer a gradient over the top, and it does all the colours in the respective bits. But yeah, the Megazord idea is a good one, but Unpop Cross Studios has already done that. Yeah, Galahound, he probably has, but he's done it ages ago. I mean, in all fairness, if we're going to go on someone's already done that, we'd never get anything done on the channel. Basically, just because the way it works out, someone somewhere in the world, doesn't matter if it's Pop Cross, you guys come up with the ideas before before I've drawn them. You guys have thought of it. Someone's thought of it first. But no, I completely get what you're saying. He has done a sword or a mega sword style design, but it's just what can we do for my spin on it, which would be quite cool. So maybe we'll do a mega sword, but maybe we'll Maybe it's a mega sword made out of all of Nexum's mech armors from a certain D&D mech armors, and we then got this, or D&D monsters made into Megazord would be quite an interesting one. But do you know what I mean? It's like, I know Popcross has done one, but it's kind of like, do we limit ourselves to someone's done that, we don't want to do it, or do we just go, well, actually, someone's done that, but that's not a bad idea. Let's do something with that. Not to knock anything down. I mean, I completely get what you're saying, and usually I do try to avoid, if someone's done something before, I don't try to do any the same that often. I mean, I had to laugh the other day because I'm not being funny. I did My Hero Academia Zombies Part 2, and Popcross did anime characters or something, and he had a My Hero Academia character on it as a teaser. I did a Pokemon episode and as Mech Armors, and he's done a Pokemon episode. I mean, we're not actually talking. I mean, the last I spoke to him was, I say we're not talking. We talk once in a blue moon. Sometimes ask questions and that, but in terms of we're not actually talking, I mean, I haven't spoken to him since New Year, like a month or so ago. Just because of schedules and stuff, and a chance to say, like, you know, how's it going, and you know, he's getting on with a lot of stuff he's doing, I'm getting along with a lot of stuff I'm doing, type thing, because of the channels. But yeah, it's a case of, I just like it, like great minds think alike. We haven't spoken, but our content's coming out, and without realizing it, it's similar, which is quite nice. It was the theme I was trying to get. I'm not like don't get me wrong, I don't know him personally. He shouted out my channel a few times, and he's been absolutely amazing. And it's nice to see him shout out, is it The Night of Arcane the other day? I came across that one by pure chance, I think a day after he'd commented on their channel, and it was a couple of days after he found their channel and commented, and it was just a nice little I watched the video of the Ben 10 fusions. I was like, oh, that looks amazing, and then I went to put a comment afterwards, and I went, oh, Popcross has been here. Still left a comment, but yeah, it's quite nice to see that, you know, a larger and potentially influential, well, yeah, okay, say potentially a larger channel giving shout outs and recognition to smaller channels is nice, and doing it for, you know, like you said, ones that he thinks his viewers would like. So this is why I'm always saying, you know, you guys all like the pop culture stuff and that, and Mario and Chrono Trigger, Dragon Ball and all this lot. So when Koi's got a stream on or something to do with a gaming thing happening, I like to share it out to you guys. When a few other ones have got stuff on, I'll share them out as well. I probably need to do it a bit more, but you know what I mean. It's like you want to share out the content with people so that everyone can enjoy it. How is that not? That's not there. Never mind. Sorry, I just confused myself. It didn't look like it selected or picked up on what it was supposed to be picking up, so I was a bit confused what was happening there. Kind of threw me quite a bit. And I know there's some, speaking of shout outs to channels and that, I know there's a couple of people in the Discord and that who, once they get off the ground running, and I mean once they sort of like, I've said to them before, I'm not going to name names, but I've said once they kick off the ground running with their channels, if they do any, and if they want to do a collab, I don't mind doing that, but it will be under 3 criteria. 1, it's beneficial for both. I mean, usually it'll be more beneficial for them if they're a small channel, but it's beneficial for both. 2, it's approached properly, so it's the correct credit given both ways, and 3, they're at a state to do that, so they're posting regularly and consistently, and they're doing what they need to do before that point. Then when they get to that, I don't mind doing that. That should be the criteria for any collabing across anything, you know, mutually beneficial and working at it properly. I'm sharing knowledge here. I'm brain dumping as we do the drawing, which is basically my way of saying there are a few that I have agreed to. If they get to those criteria, I will do that. It's just a case of when they are able to do that. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, I'm not in any super rush to go and say, oh, we must do that. Oh, I didn't do his neck. Sorry, I'm just whinging at myself for not actually sorting out the character's neck while I was sorting out a load of these shapes. But if that makes sense to people, you know, I don't want to do anything to a channel which will have a negative impact on the channel. You know, if we're going to do it, we'll do it right. Galahad19 says, oh, hang on. Tony says, Megazord of a dragon or demon, etc. That would be a cool idea for community redraws. That could be, actually. Galahad19 says, whatever ideas do you have for community redraws? I have creating our own legendary Pokemon or Digimon. I have... we've got the jungle idea, which you've been on about for a while, Galahad, and that's happening this year, early part of this year, or the first half of this year. I do have some where I will be doing a straight redraw. I've got some suggestions from you guys about I take your descriptions and draw stuff based on your descriptions. I don't actually have any artwork to draw from, which would be quite interesting. I also have taking, and I might do this as a redraw episode, old submissions 1 month. So I won't actually do a theme out. I'll take old submissions at random and do a variety redraw episode with old submissions. So they may not even get drawn for what they are submitted for. So if it's submitted for a redraw where, I don't know, say a creature was turned into we took a creature and we turned it into a mech armor. It may not become a mech armor, it may become venomized. So mixing and matching stuff. I also got the idea for a variety episode and something to do with the narrators as well. Maybe a into like a narrator verse. So I've got a few ideas. Just got to see what's happening. Oh, cool. We're at 27 likes. Awesome. We just need to get 3 more, and then we'll be at 30. Oh, thanks, Tegan and Tony. Yeah, I didn't like the drawing at the start, but now we've started working on it. It kind of looks quite funky. It does look weird, though. I am not going to lie, this is potentially the weirdest thing I have drawn. I still think the Discord recommendation might be the best thing ever. Discord recommendation, especially if you nail the background. Joy is going to help, laugh at that. Discord recommendation, best thing ever. Oh, I think I know what you're on about. Oh, I've missed something. My mind's all over the place. But Joy is going to help. Cool. 28 likes. 29 likes. 1 more like and we can put a new like goal at the top. Go on, 1 more like. We need to get 30 at least. Are we at 30? If we're at 30... Oh. Well, Galahad19, thanks for joining the stream. And I'll catch you next time. Always a pleasure. So guys, oh yes, that one. You're talking about the Discord submission, video suggestion that you did. Definitely. Okay, if we're at 30, we need a new like goal in the bottom. So you can put like goal
800
within reason. Like goal 40, and put some emojis or something on there, and I'll pin that to the top of the. Pin that to the top of the chat. Thanks, Joy. I appreciate that. I need to figure out what colour I need to actually take this. I need to take this down to slightly. So yeah, if you guys put somewhere in the chat bit like a light goal 40, once that's been added, I can pin that to the top. Light goal 40 with... Yeah, we'll go yours, go for dude. You're first. We will pin yours to the top. So now we're going for 40 likes, guys. So if you can, share it out on Discord or somewhere. I'm going for about another 25 minutes anyway, so let's see how many likes we can get. We're doing a minimum of 25 minutes going forwards. I do like hitting stuff like the light goals. It kind of re-energizes you for this stream a little bit. So I think that should be enough for those flats and that. I kind of want to... kind of feel maybe this character needs to be... a bit more larger in the screen, just like... yeah... Looks like he stood on. He's like stood off the edge of it now, going, "Yay!" That's quite funny. I might leave him there for now, or actually no, I'll tweak his angle a little bit. Yeah, no, I think that works. So the next thing I want to do is to put a couple layers over here with a clipping mask. And the first one's going to be a hard light layer, because this is what I use normally with a dark colour, usually a grey or black. And I created a noise brush. I might actually share the noise brush I created, and it works by pressure, and it gives this grain effect over the image, which is really good. So it gives a bit of a grainy texture to it, and it's a good tip to actually add more detail without having to do much. And you just lighten it up a little bit. You do an overlay layer. Pick your highlighted colour you're going to be using for the main bit of your lights. Usually it's a yellowy cream colour to represent sunlight, which has got a bit of warmth to it. Have a soft brush. Set it probably to around about anywhere between 7 and kind of like maybe 20 to maybe 12% opacity. Get a reasonable sized brush, enough to put a little bit of lighting on, and as you zoom out, just tap and add lights to where you want the highlight. Oh, that's a bit too bright. For me, 7% works on this. Just add it to the areas you think the light's going to come and hit. So my light source is coming from... I like to do a lot of my light sources from the top left down. I mean, depending where you go, changes the entire dynamic of the piece. But you just highlight everything that's on that side. Bear in mind where things will be. So the body in these wings will actually probably create a shadow over part of the leg in some areas, which is kind of crucial. If you don't get that right, then it won't. And I just add a bit more light around the actual main head of the character. And then what we've got now is we've got this rather simple but effective lighting scenario, where we've gone from these light flats with a bit of colour to a bit of texture for detail and some lighting on top, and we can play with that layer just a little bit, and that kind of gives us quite a nice feel to it. So if the next thing I tend to do in my process is I tend to create 2 hard light layers at 50%, an overlay layer at 100%, and an add layer. And this is the same as what I do with my mech armor bits or anything. And I just bounce between kind of like a dark blue color and a light or bright cream color for the sun for the highlights. And all you do is you just have your dark color, you have your soft brush, make sure you're on the right layer for it, you select tool freehand, nothing to fill, and then I will just do a couple lines to show you. You just go into the bit where you want the shadow to be. The trick with this is, because I've got the main bulk of the shadows being done by 2 layers, I can use the brush tool to do a gradient shade of these colours in, and I can make it as soft as I want going in for the colour, or as solid as I want. And then when I do the next layer, that's also at 50%, and I add some more details. So maybe I want this bit to be a lot darker with a bit of a, add a bit on this shell. I can just do that on the next layer and it makes it all darker. And then we've got this really nice controlled way of shading, adding the lights and the shadows to it. Thanks, Minecraft Transformer. This is a this little guy with the wings that he can make on his arms as a kind of villain from My Hero Academia, so more of a humanoid form. And then we're just playing around with stuff at the moment for another 20 minutes. After we've done that, I will unfortunately I will have to call it a morning, just because of time of day and everything else. But we'll get as much as we can do done on this, and then I can even come back to it and add a few more. It's been around for about 9 months. Yeah, it probably has actually. Ever since Popcross's shout out, we kind of created the Discord. So yeah, 9 months, because it was May. It was the end of May we created the Discord. Funny enough, the middle of May when we create the Discord is my deadline for the 4K. So we're going to hit that. We're going to do that. I'm determined to hit that target. I'm putting the extra in, as you can see, the live streams. And once we've hit that target, I will be continuing with the live streams, everybody. I'm not just going to stop doing these live streams where, you know, you guys can come along and chat to me real time, and we can hang out and create some of these illustrations. I will probably actually be doing more. It's just I'll be tailoring it between live streams for bonus live streams and normal live streams. I will be looking to get a better balance once I've got the watch time between here's a live stream, here's a video. It is one of my things for this year, is to get a better balance on everything, and I'm getting there. I'm not quite there yet, but I am getting there slowly on doing that, which is awesome. It's taken a bit of it takes a bit of dedication to do that, and sometimes best laid plans don't exactly turn out how you expect, especially when there are massive deadlines and other commitments come into place. But it's all cool. We will get there. Together we will hit the milestones for the channel, we'll hit the targets, and we will make more fantastic art throughout the year and have some awesome fun doing community redraws. Because that's the bit you guys like the most, and I quite like each month, is doing the redraws. Does he have a name yet? His actual name from the character is Boom Boom, or Boom Boom Cooper, which isn't too bad. But I will be, as I said, I will be doing a illustration with the original forms digitally painted. So like the guy below, this one, it'll be a version of him, like you've got the Bowser above, who's eating the Mario. In fact, that's done really well as a short. I'm shocked at that. Doing as well as it has currently. That is my third best short. The second one is the artwork for the dinosaur redraw. I think it was Dino Claw's Dilemma, where he got where he got captured. And my top one was a corgi wiggling, walking along to My Money Don't is it My Money Don't Jiggle Jiggle? I don't know. It was something. Oh no, Wiggle Wiggle Corgi style. That's what I called it. It's strange what seems to kick off compared to showing some artwork really well, and you know, my Cerulean Edge digital art piece, where I was showing the actual drawing process a bit on it, only got like 300 likes as a short. Bowsette has got like 2,000 last time I looked, which is absolutely insane. Oh, Minecraft. I think I need about 250 or less. It could be less. It's definitely under 250. I don't know what it stands at the moment because the figure's 2 days out. So anybody trying to work out your watch time on YouTube, it's really helpful that they've set it so that the figure you have under your earn page is effectively 48 hours behind your current day. So the figure that I see on that earn page in the analytics is actually from the 23rd of February, not from the 25th up to date. I appreciate it gives them time to sort out the algorithm and make sure that they've got the right figures showing, which is fair enough. It does make it a little bit infuriating trying to go, wait, so what am I actually on? And trying to work out what counts, because that's their system counting public watch hours, which is what counts towards the actual what actually counts towards the monetization goal. The only difference being that they don't calculate that on a rolling live bit, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, it's not too far away from it. So I plan to get there by May, which is the target. And if things keep going how they are, I'll hit that target. And then I can unlock more features for everybody else to enjoy. Tony says, Beast Wars D&D universe, that'd be super awesome if you do that on drawing. That might be quite a cool one, actually. Taking the races and make them into Transformers from the D&D universe. It is a possibility, definitely, for that to be done. Just got to see what actually happens when I get to that point. Alright, let's add some of these lighter sections on while we're doing this. I do need to do more Transformer artwork at some point. The only slight downside with the Transformer artwork, and I think most people will probably understand, they are so much more detailed. Even if I do a simple version, they tend to be more detailed than the other artwork on the channel, so they take longer to do per illustration. The Patreon is good. We have a total of 1 loyal patron, and they have been getting access to every bit of behind the scenes information going. They even know the teaser for over the weekend for the community redraw, which artwork was used, and the name of the person who submitted it, because they're on the Patreon, as well as having the access to download any of the artwork that's on there. So the Bowser images on there. Once this is finished in a live stream or two, that'll be on there. Cerulean Edge is on there. We've got Venomized Bowser's there as well. So that's all on there. And ink bundles will be starting soon, where you can actually get the ink packs. But it's not too bad. It's one of those things that will grow over time as people are able to participate. I don't expect people to go out their way. If they can't afford it, I don't advise it, if that makes sense. Do what works for you. But if you would like to support the channel and are able to, then feel free to join the Patreon. I did toy with a lower tier, but unfortunately the way Patreon takes the works out the fees, the lowest tier I could do is the one that is on now, unfortunately. But you know, over time it'll grow, and you know, the more we get, the more I can do the extra lower tiers and stuff. But for now, the Patreon is sitting there amassing lots of content, so when people join it, they will unlock a huge amount of content to enjoy. And for those that are already in the Patreon, you get lots and lots of perks. So just for example, all the images on Patreon are 18 by 24 inches in size. So they're basically A2 ready to print as a downloadable digital file. You can download it, and if you were to print it onto your printer at home or stick it on something like Vistaprint and order a print for yourself, say A3, you would have an image high enough quality to put that how you want it to be. The other benefit is if you're a patron and you've downloaded the image, you are allowed to use it for your backgrounds, your wallpapers and stuff, but you can't resell it. If you want to do something like put it on some merch, or you want to promote it heavily, then I just ask you give credit back. But if you want to enjoy it yourself, download it and just have it as a phone screen or something, then you're more than welcome to do it. You know, so it's that kind of thing. So you get all the files high quality to enjoy, basically. Yeah, it is. I think it's just because I'm in the UK, I get hit by a double fee sometimes. I'm not sure how that works. But thankfully, because of having one Patreon currently, I know exactly how much it's worked out for one person for a month in terms of what comes after fees. So I can work out my target goal, and I've worked out my goal target needs to be doubled. But I'm going to keep it at 500 for now as my starting Patreon goal target, and then build it up. But yeah, no, it works out really, really weird that it's like the whole Patreon side of things. It's I love to give back, and that definitely want to do more content for what people want to see. So, for example, if you like Fusion episodes or Fusion videos more than you do Mech Armor, for example, then I'm going to be starting by the end of March a poll. So by April, I'll be starting a poll where it's voted on in the Patreon, and I will do one illustration that's either a speed paint or one illustration that becomes a proper video, whether it's design notes or anything, that's released of that theme or that illustration. So it could be a Bowsetti, it could be the one that's on about with like Bowser or Mario and Luigi looking down like that, with Bowser and the Koopalings all running away or something in fear, and it'll be done in like a digital painting style, and it'll be something I work on behind the scenes, record, and then when it's ready I put on Patreon first, and then it goes public afterwards. The other thing go for the Patreon is, once the videos are done and they are uploaded, they go onto Patreon. They are, until the videos get set to be a premiere, they are available ahead of the time the video is going to be released, so you can watch it early. I'm not guaranteeing it to be on every single one so far, like the community redraw, but most videos, when they're done, they'll be on there early, and there'll be advance notice of a live stream planned, or talking about live streams as well. The idea is, you guys are giving more, you get more. But yeah, that's my Patreon plug for now, which is quite good. I will be doing a trailer video to show it off more within the next couple of weeks. I'm starting to plan that out a bit more. I kind of know what I want to say and what I want to do. I just need to record the content, as it were. And you think, being a content creator, that shouldn't be difficult. Being a content creator, that's why it's difficult. But it's good. I'm enjoying having Patreon as an option to do. I just got to remember to keep updating it every now and again, because I'm not used to it. Which means the more people that join, the more I have to actually make sure I do what I need to do. I'd love to see... So it says, my birthday is in April 5th. is April the 5th. That is called Transformers Dragger Drawing. Please, if do it close in the future. Transformers as dragons. Are you on about the redraw idea that you had? Are you on about actually doing a video making dragons into Transformers, or Transformers drawn from dragon designs? If that makes sense. Just to figure out which way round that's going. Minecraft Transformers. I'd love to see a Potaro Fusion Deku Enkinchan. That would be interesting. Definitely. Although we will soon be coming to the... Do I start that or... Something that doesn't look right here. I don't know if it's the background just being too... So something just doesn't look right on the... That's a bit better. Oh, dragons as Transformers. Okay. That's not a bad concept. Was that as a normal video or a redraw suggestion? I can't remember what you said earlier. I'm just trying to find out what the info on it to see. I'm not promising anything. I don't promise anything for birthdays. I don't... Unless it's a commission, I don't tend to do anything specific for a birthday. But if it works out around about that time that I'm planning to do one of those anyway, then I will look to see if I can drop one of those in. I haven't planned anything past next week currently, but I will be planning my videos out, and I've got a list of them to go through, and I do need to do some more Transformer videos. So if that falls into the genre and it works and it falls right, then it may happen by coincidence, but if not, it will happen somewhere this year. That kind of idea. I just can't guarantee it around a particular birthday for anybody. But yeah, I always feel like the bad guy when I have to say I'm not promising anything, or if someone asks for something, it's like, yeah, unless it's this, no. But it's one of those ones where it's if it falls right, then it'll be a happy little coincidence, but I can't promise, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the future. However, a very, very, very early happy birthday for April the 5th, just in case I forget around the time or I don't remember. Need to cover that off. Yeah, I guess it depends on how they ask or what's done to whether it's a hell no. I mean, asking's fine. I'm happy to be like polite and say how it is. It's when you get people ask a question and they spam a question and then you're like, hell no, type thing. If that makes sense. But no, it's gotta be polite. Tony's a new and loyal member of the community. It's great. I want to ask Boom Boom if I can feel his wings. They look cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to make them... I don't want them softer because he's a villain, so I want them a bit sharp. I've just got to figure out how I'm going to tie it... to tie it all in. I kind of like what's there, but I think something's not right in the design. I think it's probably the wings to the lower half of the body. That wing's covering it so it doesn't look quite right, even though it's supposed to be like a dynamic pose. I still think it looks like he's just going la, like a dancing pose. Oh, not a problem, Gopher Dude. Thank you for joining so far. It is about 1 o'clock over here, but thank you for joining the stream, and I'll catch up with you later. If I haven't done the event by Friday next week, so in a week's time, give me a nudge on the Discord just to make sure. Yeah, I don't want the wings to be super sharp. I want them to be flexible, but a couple of the elements on the wing, sort of like these bits here, they're soft, but they are sharper than the wings that you've got up here, which have got a bit more of a curve to them. It's very subtle, but it's kind of doing the whole sharp approach to it, which is quite cool. But yeah, it's one of those ones where he's a bad guy, so kind of has... The thing with bad guys is they're evil, and when they're evil, you kind of do sharper edges on a few things, even though the shells are curved and they're kind of like smooth. They often have spikes on them in the game, or, you know... Oh, sorry. I do apologise. That's the time hit me when I realised what time it is. They have spikes in them from time to time in the game, which makes it more interesting. Koi-Fish Gaming, 100% setting a precedent for favours can get crazy fast, however loyalty should be heard out. No, completely agree. It's one of those hard ones where you've got to find that fine line between doing something for loyal members of the community and back to the community, sort of like the Patreon side of things, and doing it for people that have seen it and want it, if that makes sense. In terms of they've seen something for someone and they're like, me, if that makes sense. But you can always tell those ones apart. I'm doing a terrible job of explaining it, but you know what I mean. It's like you said, it's that whole balance between loyalty and community, and hearing them out and going, yeah, okay, yeah, I could do that, yeah, I could sort that, or yeah, if it ties in together, that's great, and type thing. And then having it where it's that whole setting a precedent for it, and then it's like, I've just bitten off about 10,000 times more than I can chew. Which is kind of what these guys do with Mario, because, you know, they set a precedent of getting absolutely owned by Mario and Luigi 99 times out of 100. So, 99 times out of 100, they're going to be owned by Mario and Luigi, or any other character you play. On that note, though, I think we will probably end up calling it. We've been going for... we'll be going for 3 hours, which isn't too bad. We've got our 30 like goals, so I'm more than happy about that. Thank you so much, guys, for getting us to 30 likes. That's amazing. And has anybody got any questions before we call it a night and crack on with the rest of it? Because the community redraw is going to be my task for tomorrow, which is going to be absolutely awesome. I will let you know. Let you show some of the artwork. I'll show some of the stuff. I have started it because the community redraw is literally between this one and this one. You know, the community redraw is right here, but I'm not going into it. I deliberately put a white one on top of it for the stream. But yeah, we've got a nice little array of things that we're working on. I do want to do Helmons again, so we will be doing some more of our Helmon. And then I do also want to do some more of these Ben 10 heroines one, which is quite cool, and some more of the Cerulean Edge digital ones. But if you guys haven't got any questions, then I would say good night to everybody. Thank you for joining the stream, and we'll pick this up next week. Friday at the latest, we'll pick this. Where do I put it? That's the Pokemon ones. Sorry, I've dropped down too far. There we go. So we'll finish this Boom Boom off. Yeah, we'll finish this Boom Boom off. That sounds so wrong after watching Sky High. We'll finish this Boom Boom Cooper off as a supervillain style illustration, and then we'll start planning out the next one. I do have to do a Ghost Freak as a Kaiju one with Ben 10, so I might schedule that in for one in March to pick that one up, because I think that would be quite cool. Tony says, can you draw 7 Deadly Sins in a demon universe? Possibly. I know Melodious is more of a demon character, but making him more monstrous, I will have a look at doing that. Because we have got demon videos, and I will be picking some of them up in the next couple of months. But anyway, guys, I'm going to say good night, and I'll catch you all next time.